Hello everyone, welcome to TechWeb Dots. This is second session of Agile series, and today we are going to discuss what is Agile software development, what is Agile Scrum Framework, what Agile Methodologies, and what is Agile Mindset. Okay, and why Agile is important for the C# developer or engineers or architects I have already explained in my previous videos. So let's move ahead without wasting time. So as you can see in my last video, I have already explained all these important points. What is Agile and what are the Agile ethics, what are Agile values, and what are Agile principles. And the link is given in the description of this video, and in very short time I have covered all these topics. Okay, so let's move ahead. If you are new to this session, let me give you a very brief information about what Agile is. Agile is the ability to create and respond to change. It is a way of dealing with and ultimately succeeding in an uncertain environment. Okay, I am saying uncertain environment when we don't have any certainty. Okay, the author of the Agile Manifesto choose Agile as a label for this whole idea because that word represented the adaptiveness and respond to change, which was so important to their approach. Okay, and it's really about thinking though how you can understand what is going on in your environment that you are in today, identify what uncertainty you are facing, and figure out how you can adapt to that as you go along. Okay, so this is what basically Agile is. Okay, now I've already discussed what is the importance of Agile and why it is important even for the people who are from the C# background. I've already discussed maximum 5 Fortune 500 companies are really looking for the people who have Agile knowledge as well. So let's move ahead to discuss what is Agile software development. Okay, Agile software development is more than a framework such as Scrum, which is again part of Agile framework, extreme programming, or feature driven development. I hope you understand what do we mean by feature driven development when we really focus on the feature and work on that development. In simple terms, Agile software development is more than practices such as pair programming when two programmers sit together for the single agenda, test driven development when you focus on test before development and thoroughly check the feasibility, stand-up calls, planning session, and sprint. If all these points are not clear at this moment, don't worry. In the upcoming slide, while I will be explaining Agile framework, I will explain these points again and again for you. Okay, Agile software development is an umbrella for a set of frameworks and practices based on the values and the principle expressed in the manifesto of Agile software development and the 12 principles. So that's why I suggested to watch my previous session where I have clearly explained what are Agile values and principles. Even in the upcoming slides, I will use these terms Agile values and principle again and again. Okay, so please watch that before proceeding. When you approach software development in a particular manner, it is generally good to live by these values and principles and use them to figure out the right things. Okay, one thing that separates Agile from other approaches to software development is the focus on people doing the work and how they work together. Solutions evolve through collaboration between self-organizing cross-functional teams. This is very important term, self-organizing cross-functional team. When we say self-organized, it means we are responsible, we are taking initiative, and we are doing the work. And when we say cross-functional teams, means one team member are also aware what are the important things which are required to touch the function. And if I take example, in our team, there are team members who are aware about the front-end development, who are aware about server-side development, who are aware about back-end development. So they have knowledge of all the functions, even in the server-side deployment as well. So they have end-to-end knowledge. Okay, so that type of self-organizing cross-functional teams utilizing the appropriate practices. Okay, so that's why we said be agile. Now it's time to very important part of Agile Scrum Framework at a glance that I am going to demonstrate you. Okay, as you can see on the left hand side, we start from left to right. Okay, here you can see we are taking input from end user, customer, team, and the other stakeholders. Okay, so this is the point where we are gathering the information, what actually features customer want, what is the actual requirement of stakeholders, which will be received by the product owner. They will timely communicate with them and log all those information as a product backlog. All these stacks, you can consider these as a product backlog. Then it goes to the team who is actually going to work for the development part. Team determines deliverable items in a sprint and conceptualize a plan. So if you are thinking what actually a sprint is, suppose we pick 4 to 5 features to deliver in a week. Okay, in Agile we work in a recursive manner. We follow some of the tools. Let's say in TFS, Team Foundation Server, we have a Scrum tool already implemented there. We can follow from there. We can create the sprint there. We can create the task, and those tasks will be assigned to the team members and they will work on them. And let's suppose we decide few features to develop within a week or 2 weeks. Okay, because a sprint can be 1 to 4 week long. Okay, so in that sprint we will see there is a product backlog refinement is there. There will be a Scrum Master who will specially monitor how team is working, if there are any obstacles faces by the team, and he will definitely help you to proceed. Okay, and daily Scrum meeting and artifact update. So in that meeting, what you are working and what you are going to do next. Okay, or is there any obstacle that you are facing. And in the next part of this whole Agile Scrum framework is sprint review. When we finishes our sprint, we identify what are the bugs, what were the challenges, and how we can improve. And after that, we receive a potentially shippable product increment. Okay, then we go back again, take some more product backlog, again divide them into tasks, create the sprint, and work in the same manner. Okay, so that's the whole overall idea of the Scrum framework. And at the end you can see there's a term written over there, retrospective. In this meeting we actually identify if there is something which is not good for the team, which is not good for the product development, then we eliminate that. And if there is something that is really adding value, we increase that part, or we can add more steps which are required to the smooth development and deployment. Okay, so that's the overall idea of Agile Scrum framework. I hope it is clear for you. Let's move next. Now there are a few more important points about Agile software development. There is a big focus in Agile software development community on collaboration and the self-organizing teams that I already explained. That doesn't mean that there are not managers. It means that teams have the ability to figure out how they are going to approach things on their own. It means they are self-organizing. It means that teams are cross-functional. Teams don't have to have specific roles involved. You make sure that you have all the right skill sets on the team. There is still a place for managers make sure team members have or obtain the right skill set. Manager provide the environment that allows the team to be successful. Managers mostly step back and let their team figure out how they are going to deliver products, but they step in when the teams try but are unable to resolve issues. When most teams and organizations start doing agile development, they focus on practices that help with collaboration and organizing the work, which is great. Okay, now we are aware about what is agile software development, what is Scrum framework. Now we talk about Agile Mindset. This is very famous 4 action plan that says first we plan something, then we do something, then we check something, and then we act something. Okay, but beyond this, ultimately agile is a mindset informed by Agile manifesto, which are values and principles. Those values and principles provide guidance on how to create and respond to change, how to deal with the uncertainty. Okay, you could say that Agile manifesto encapsulates the whole idea. We are uncovering better ways of developing software by doing it and helping others do it. Okay, when you face uncertainty, try something you think might work, get feedback and adjust accordingly. Keep the values and the principle in mind when you do this. Let your manager guide which framework, practice and techniques you should use to collaborate with your team and deliver value to your customers. This is really important. Okay, now you must be thinking, then what is Agile methodologies? Okay, if Agile is a mindset, then what does that say about the idea of agile methodologies? A methodology is the set of convention that a team agrees to follow. Okay, that means that each team will have its own methodology which will be different in either small or large ways from every other team's methodology. Okay, so every agile methodologies are the conventions that a team choose to follow in a way that follows agile values and principles. You remember, these terms are coming again and again. I strongly suggest you to watch the previous video, because in overall agile methodology we always try to achieve better productivity, better quality and higher customer satisfaction. Okay, that's the overall idea. Wait, you are probably saying, I thought Scrum and Extreme Programming were agile methodologies. They certainly were born from a single team's methodology, but they become framework when they were generalized to be used by other teams. Those frameworks helps the team start with their methodology, but that shouldn't be the team's methodology. The team will always need to adapt its use of a framework to fit properly. Okay, so I hope all these points are clear. I really search a lot to make this video so that I can spread as much as information on this in a less time. So in our upcoming session, that is going to be very important, it will be on Agile Cynefin framework, or you can say Agile Cynefin model, that really elaborates when you are in a tough situation what do you need to do actually. Okay, so we will discuss that in our next video. Don't forget to provide your feedback. Your feedback is the only inspiration for me to create such videos.